Hello and welcome back to another Life Beyond Bricks video.
Hello.
So we've had Franny, the fanny wagon, for, is it nearly 7 months now? 7 or 8 months now?
Yes, we have, yeah.
Time's flown by. And we thought it would be a cool idea, or we thought it would be a good idea to update, like do an update on how we've got on with it, what we like about it, what we've changed about it. And I just want to say before we get started, a massive thank you to Horton Waters campsite, which is where we are now. Probably one of the prettiest campsites I think I've ever been to in England, for letting us film here. So thank you ever so much.
If Carlsberg made campsites, this would be that.
This would be.
But that's for another video. So I'll just give you a little sneak peek.
See the lake that you can go swimming in?
Yeah, that lake is all ours.
But anyway, let's get into it. So let's kick off strong with from the back to the front. So one of the things that attracted us to the van was obviously the bedroom layout with the 2 longitudinal beds. Has it worked out in practice? I would say yes, because we've got, you can see this space here that I'm stood in. With the door shut, this creates this huge ensuite bedroom situation, and it has worked out as well as we thought. I'll tell you what else I love as well, and it's going to sound really trivial, but the hooks on the back of the bathroom door. So actually it means I've been able to have my dressing gown in the van. So this was tucked up in storage for like 5-6 years, and I've been able to have it back out.
I'm not sure I like that.
It's tough. And silly little things like toilet roll holder, place to put our shower robes. It's just, yeah, I love it. The only thing that I would say that I do miss from the previous van, or that I found a little bit difficult in this one, is having the separate beds. It's not as easy to snuggle. That's my only thing. So when you want to curl up and watch a film, because we're obviously sharing with the girls and different things, we're basically back to a single bed.
What I love in the bedroom section is the wardrobe. I never had a wardrobe before because it was all taken up by someone's clothes.
Not sure who he's talking about.
So I actually have wardrobe. I can have clothes now.
Oh, your clothes.
I don't have to dress like a tramp.
And yet you still do. Jokes.
But yeah, no, they are really, really cool. You know, they literally, they slide out really nice and easy, and yeah, they are massive as well.
They're huge. And I like it as well that we've also got an even number of cupboards, which again,
yes,
we didn't have in the old one. One thing I did struggle with when we first moved into this van is that in the old van, we did have like this was swapped around and we had like some extra shelving there. So I had somewhere to put stuff when I'm in here, like getting ready or whatever. I've learned to adapt to it, but it took me, how long was it to find the shelf? It's really a good 4 months.
Well, we were quite far in.
Yeah, that I didn't know was there. So when I do need that space, da-da-da, there we go. Problem solved. I now have the shelf space again.
Right, moving forward to the midships area. I just love the openness of this part. It is just like so open. I mean, the Adria was lovely, but for some reason it just all felt a little bit cramped in this area, whereas I don't know how Frankia have done it, because it's the same width van, but they have seemed to sort of get more in this area. I do actually really like the cooker hood. We actually don't use anything below the cooker hood, so sort of suppose on the negative we have got an oven there which we don't really use, and a grill which we don't really use, but I really like the hot plate. It comes with the hot plate as well. It's a really good area. I love the bin, the installed bin. That is pretty snazzy. I suppose the only other negative thing I would say is that the drawers, these drawers, they're not as practical as they look. Like, they're really long, which is brilliant, but obviously, as you can see here, it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy and it needs reorganising. But yeah, because the previous van, the Adria, that had like really deep drawers, so you could actually get quite a lot of stuff in them. Whereas these, they're just, yeah, you kind of have to put stuff in to organise them, I think. But yeah, it is a very small problem to have. Oh, and I do like this as well. You put the worktop in there.
And even though I have been a bit of a domestic goddess of late, doing a bit of cooking, the kitchen was never that important to me. But one thing I do miss from the old van is there was a little bit more worktop space like this without having to use the sink insert. But it's not a huge deal because actually you just have to get used to using this one here. And then all of a sudden that creates all that space. So I've actually adapted to that, and now I love this worktop space more. So another feature that we've loved in this van, that when we first got the van I was like, what are we going to do with that space? But my clever little bean over here, John, actually came up with a fantastic solution as to what to do with this. So this was the wine glass cabinet. However, ta-da, it's now our coffee machine cabinet. So John took, it had two of these, John took that out. He moved the 240 socket from the bathroom because we had two in there. I don't know why you'd have two sockets in the bathroom because we didn't even use one socket in the bathroom. So he managed to reroute that to here, found this little Nespresso Essenza, plugged that in, et voila. And then my favourite accessory is my stick-on coffee pod holders. So we now have our coffee machine cupboard. And one area that we haven't still found anything to do with yet is where there used to be a TV here. So the bracket is still there and we haven't decided what to do with it yet, even after 7 months. However, we don't want to put anything too much up there because we like this sideboard space. That's actually been really handy, isn't it? Yeah. So when you're in and out the van and stuff, especially if you're parked up, somewhere to like chuck your stuff, have it there. So yeah, haven't found a use for that yet, apart from apparently to hold cards and things. Moving
into the Dinette area, it's a really nice space. We did used to have an L-shaped arrangement here because of the cushions and stuff. But to be honest, we actually prefer it without the L shape. It seems to be quite comfortable having it this way. There's a little bit more space to sit in as well. And of course, the girls come first, so their litter tray is under there. The other thing I love about this area, I mean, the double floor is full length in this van, but a lot of the storage is accessible through the double floor here. So yeah, the double floor is just a game changer.
That was your favourite feature, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of the whole thing.
And it had to be a full double floor. Not many motorhome manufacturers do it. This is actually a full double floor. So the lower floor is on the Alco chassis and then it's got an upper floor and it's full length. None of the other manufacturers do that.
I'll tell you what else I love about this. At first, I was a bit concerned because I used to love our Dinette table that was fixed in the one position against that wall. But actually, because this one slides and swivels and it actually opens out, we can both work in here comfortably, can't we?
Yeah.
So what
swivels around.
Oh, there we go. So what we normally do is we have it at an angle, one sits there, and we can sit and work with the table extended.
Yeah, we do have the boardroom style as well. There we go.
Ta-da! And as you can see, the girls approve. There's one. There's two. And what's good about this as well is that I can actually reach the floor now because, as you can see, this is a step down where John's just stepped down, and these seats lower and raise. So when we're driving or travelling, I can now reach the floor, which is fantastic.
Now, excuse me, I have to perch quite uncomfortably because somebody is occupying the seat. So we move to the cab area. What do I like? What do I not like? Again, it's Fitch Cato, so it's pretty much all good. Stereo's very good on this one. Comfortmatic gearbox. I quite like it. You still retain the fuel economy that I used to get. Has a mind of its own sometimes, or rather you need to tell it what gear you want it to be in. I think the only negative for me is I really do miss the 3 litre. We had the 183 litre in the old van. This is the 150 2.3, so just miss the torque of the 3 litre, but to be honest, there's nothing you can do. This is 2018, so they all went to 2.3 in that year anyway. But
in the grand scheme of things, I suppose we're not looking to get there in a hurry, are we? We're just looking to get there comfortably. But I know what you mean. Yeah. Also, it's hilarious that she just hasn't moved a muscle. The girls find the seats really comfy as well, don't they?
Oh, Tinkerbell loves the seats.
And I'll tell you what else she likes, because these are obviously a different shape to our old ones. So she likes to sit up here, stretch down here, and use it as a scratching post. Yeah. Excellent.
Well, I mean, that is a testament to the trim. The velour trim on this is almost indestructible.
So another thing that I'm absolutely loving, look at all these windows. They just go on and on and on. And how much lighter is it in here?
Yeah, there's so much natural light, and even, you know, we've got the black tinted max fan as well.
And we found that particularly helpful during the winter. Obviously there wasn't a lot of daylight hours, but when you're not going out the van much, it made a difference, didn't it? Having all that light. And I've really loved having my own bedroom window, so I can be nosy out of it. I like that. Okay, what we have upgraded and changed in this van. So we've already showed you the coffee machine, which is probably one of our favourite upgrades. I'll just walk you down here, because some of these upgrades are just really small and seeming significant. We made the use of this space by fitting a tissue box holder.
Because we live in this full time, we tour full time as well, we don't always get the opportunity to go to campsites and stuff, so we do a fair amount of time off grid as well. Power system that I have installed, it's a full Victron power system, it's a full 24 volt system as well, so it's a little bit more efficient. 860 watts of solar up the top. So I'll pop a link to the video of our electrical upgrades, and I'll also pop a link to the solar upgrades as well. So in terms of the solar, we haven't actually plugged in since I put the system in. We haven't needed 240 because we generate our own power. So in the last 90 days, we have had we have used 293 kilowatt hours of solar. So if we were going to actually pay for that on a campsite, like say it was 30p per kilowatt hour, so that has actually made us like £89 so far.
Buzzing. So in girl math, that's £89 that I can go and spend on something else that I want.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Now, one thing that we had on the old van was a full 4C VBS suspension, and that was something that was quite important on whatever van we chose next. Obviously, thankfully, Franny came with levelling legs, which we've never had before. So what's been your experience with the legs? How are you finding them?
Yeah, I'm loving the legs. They're really, really good, really easy to use. Yeah, really love the system. I probably, if I had the money, I would add air suspension as well. This van is an awful lot heavier than the Adria as well. We are running around 4.5 tons, so that is pretty much max weight. So I do think it would benefit from full air VB again. Welcome to my domain. This is the garage. One of the things I love is it's got so much space. The only trouble is I've got so much space that now it's untidy because I've actually got too much space. But no, the garage is huge. I love the fact that I can get everything I need in, and I can still get to stuff as well, which is what I couldn't do before, because we've got this massive door, which is a Frankia feature. We've got the huge door over that side, and you're filming from a little door that side. From a little Tash-sized door. Yeah.
So there is one feature of the layout of this van that I didn't see come in that would be really helpful, is I quite enjoy sitting here, especially if like John or the girls or whatever are up there and they're taking up space up there. I actually find it quite comforting. I like to sit here because you can use that as a backrest, and sometimes I've got my laptop, or sometimes I'm doing my nails or whatever, and yeah, that's one thing I didn't see come in. It's like a built-in seat.
Okay then folks, that is about it.
Yeah, that is it. This is our little wrap up, our 7-month update since we changed over to the Frankia. What's it really like to live in one of these? Phenomenal. I still pinch myself that, you know, you found this van and we managed to make the change, because it's been such a positive change for us in so many ways, hasn't it?
I love it. The build quality of the Frankias, I've got to say, is absolutely phenomenal, because I've had various bits and pieces apart, stuff that's behind the scenes that you don't normally see, and even that is built well, so you know that the rest of the van's built well. And
it's just pretty.
It is very pretty, and I must say, moving forward now, if I was to buy another motorhome, it would be a Frankia. That's a bold statement.
Wow. But we're not changing this one for, like, you know, this is a sort of 8 to 10 year commitment, right?
Maybe this with a tag axle.
I wondered if you were going to bring up the whole tag thing again.
Yeah, I do like the tag. I feel left out now. Everyone else has got tag axles.
No.
Right. We've taken up too much of your lovely time, so it's time to say goodbye for us.
Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.